We don't want to do that.
Golden armor, golden hair, reeks black lads like grain. Maeve, Maeve, Maeve!
Neve stood surrounded by advisors, discussing, when all at once they heard a mighty thud.
Bloody hell!
They looked to see a cavalryman who'd clearly fallen from his saddle. The men who witnessed the blunder began to jest, only to choke on their laughter, as the wretch, having risen to his hands and knees, began to shake and vomit blood.
Oh, that's not good. It's The Witcher 2. It's The Witcher game. Thronebreaker.
The medic's diagnosis: poison.
Oh.
In spite of his best efforts, the cavalryman breathed his last that very night. Soon, several other riders developed the same symptoms, and at the last shared their comrade's fate. All were buried at the roadside, beneath an old willow.
This looks to be no coincidence,
Reynard said, gravely.
Our stores of water. Someone's poisoned them. We must find the thing. In the interim, your...
Oh. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
The lady, a strange boat floated past. Thought it imperial, but it flew not black sails, but reddens. Deep red.
Give me the cash.
Horns sounded. Neve recognized them at once as those of the Lyrian vanguard. She drew her sword and prepared to face the invader. Yet coming down upon her force were not Nilfgaardians, but bearded warriors clad in leather, horned helmets on their heads.
Uh-oh.
This was not so. The Queen could not believe her eyes.
Skelligan raiders, this far inland.
But this was no time to be bewildered. Neve spurred her horse. It neighed and reared, and then the twain leapt into the fray.
Reynard, what the devil? Sea raiders here.
Put our steel to the test.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
Ariel's been chosen. The gods speak to him.
Oh, Lyrian lummoxes.
We'll ransack your temples! Wipe ourselves on your vestments!
This harvest will be reaping black-clad heads.
Put it back in there. I did it.
Gods are blowing fair winds today.
One boat's all I need. Give me a time.
You've got stones, wench.
Give us all you got!
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me. Oh, got a bad case of lower's back.
Older Blackhand's taking on new swabbies. What do you say?
The Skelligers fought hard, fought bravely, brought mayhem. Yet the Queen's ordered, disciplined force won the day. The islanders seemed entirely undismayed at their defeat. A trait of theirs, I must admit, I've ever admired.
Well, you're right scrappy for landlubbers. Lippy Goodman applauds you for your pluck, Queen. When we sup, me and the lads will drink your health.
That we shall yet see, sir. We must know something first. What brings you this far inland? What drove you from the sea?
Meve asked, crossing her arms.
Ha! What always drives us? Looting and pillaging. The coast's picked clean since long. So we set our longships up the Yaruga for gold and glory!
Amusing. I always assumed you to be honourable folk.
On who dares to claim elsewise?
Your very actions do so. You've attacked a land preoccupied, a land already at war with invaders, but I suppose it makes sense. You've ever feared to attack Imperials?
The Queen prodded gently.
What did you say, wench?
Goodmund had quickly turned red with rage.
I'll prove just how wrong you are, I will! Why, we'll be drinking mead from Nilfgaardian helmets for sundown! Follow me, lads!
Neve smiled as she watched the islanders gather their gear and prepare to march. She doubted not in the least that Goodmund would honor his pledge.
Here the damage seems not so great.
It appears Nilfgaard's not yet turned its forces towards the capital. We're likely to encounter no more than pathfinders and foragers.
So I hope.
Oh. Oh.
Give me
Waste.
I only use 4 feet. But sometimes they're quite fresh.
You can try to win them all, but you won't.
Arbalist at your command.
Discipline shall bring us victory.
Garny Vettles, hungry like a wolf I am.
Armor all set.
Use this. If the ring won't come off, just take the whole finger.
Her Majesty knows what she's doing.
Oh no.
Arbalist at your command.
We must trust each other.
Garny Vettles, hungry like a wolf I am.
Use this.
armor, they'll say.
Oh.
The Nilfgaardian invasion necessitated certain steps. Neve had dispatched scrolls to her garrison commanders, based upon which they were to announce general musters. She'd hoped that by the time she reached Crydam, fresh recruits would be waiting to join her growing force. Alas, the commander of this fort, one Sergeant Griggs, had only bad news.
Your Majesty, I've not the numbers to man the walls even. The call to arms brings few new recruits and more men desert each day. Folk are terrified something awful. They don't believe in victory.
Since love of country seems insufficient motivation,
Neve said, standing up from behind the table.
We must make coins speak. Sergeant, announce that all new recruits will receive twice the usual soldier's pay.
Though costly, Neve's decision brought immediate results. Lured by the promise of gold, townsfolk in droves enlisted with the garrison. The Queen left Crydam poorer, but encouraged, as she had a stronger force in tow.
Nothing stirs a soldier's soul quite like coin. The clinkety-clink of gold.
A contract on a monster. Interesting.
What's wrong at Abbott's Ravine? I heard whinnies and screams at first. How all's gone silent.
A dragon! A live one! Seen it with my own eyes! Had wings like...
Got any victuals? Hungry like a wolf for you.
I'm a wrong set.
Her Majesty is exceptional.
Oh. Did the puzzle. Didn't get the loot. The reported loot on my map. Here. In this garden. Down here, I think. Not up the hill.
As Neve and company traversed the ruddy meadows, strident voices reached their ears.
I beg your pardon. I've had enough. A duel. I challenge you to a duel.
A duel? Nonsense. I'd sooner lay you across my lap and give your ass a thorough flailing, you scoundrel.
The Queen approached the arguing parties. Two nobles, Lords Cartwright and Mansfield. Quickly she ascertained they were up in arms over ownership of an orchard lying between their estates. Assisting both nobles, their kinsmen, armed to the teeth, prepared to leap at each other and crush heads. Upon spotting Neve, the lords lowered their voices, bowed and presented themselves. Yet they could not keep their ire fettered long, and were soon casting aspersions again.
Your Grace, Mansfield has seized it. No, stolen my land. Land that has been in my family for generations.
It is my recompense for your reckless deeds. To burn down me mill in Furton for a bit of sawdust in your flour? Well, I never.
A bit? Oh, let me at him. Farmhands taken ill, cooks feverish, all from that manure. You are a fraud, sir. A fraud and a thief.
Though she faced the not at all trifling matter of the Nilfgaardian invasion, Neve agreed to settle the dispute. Reynard, who knew the history of every Lyrian and Rivian family 7 generations back, served as her advisor.
No doubt I would find for the Cartwrights. They are in the right here, as regards the title to the land. Yet your grace must consider, the Mansfields have ever served the crown and never delayed payment of tribute. Whereas the Cartwrights are litigious charlatans who owe the royal treasury thousands, many thousands.
From what I've gathered, you've both burdens on your conscience,
said the Queen.
And I've neither the time nor the inclination to ascertain who started this feud. You will split the orchard in 2. Make do with half a piece.
But my Queen...
Should my judgment displease you, Mansfield, I can always incorporate the land into the crown.
The Queen's threat silenced the feuding lords, yet it failed to bring their conflict to a close. In a few years' time, they were at one another's throats yet again.
Supplies.
On their way to the capital, Neve and company happened one fine day upon a lone rider. Had I been at her side, I would immediately have recognized his passionate gaze and altogether chivalrous mien.
Identify yourself, sir, and your intent.
Ache of Denel I am dubbed, and my design I never conceal. The good book says the world is a garden which the gods once conferred upon man, and we men have this garden neglected. In consequence, all manner of filth has made its lair here. Drowners, ghouls, and other kobolds.
Oh, God.
I have sworn ne'er to rest until the day when, with the gods' help, I have rid the world of these beasts and pests. I wander all lands, seeking out evil and facing it in mortal combat.
Who do we spy? A knight errant?
Just as likely a madman. How goes your hunt? Caught the trail of any monster?
Monster? Too fair a term by far. An exceptionally vile worm has made its lair in nearby caverns. It is said to be the very distillation of filth. A slither in horror. A mélange of the macabre. Its head, that of a wild cat of Ophir. Its maw full of spiked teeth. The wings of a bat it is said to have. The tail of a scorpion, and from it, a thick venom drips. Learned men call this variety a manticore, or mardiacore.
Perhaps it will be most prudent, then, to send for a witcher.
A witcher? Soulless automatons they are, all, feeding on common folks' fears. What they demand gold to do, I perform without demand of any coin.
Sir Abe, far be it from me to discourage you. Your endeavor is noble, no doubt. But from what I have heard, manticores are exceedingly dangerous beasts.
To defeat this filth alone could be a difficult task, I'll not deny. Yet try it I must, for it is what I have sworn before the gods.
We shall help you find and fight the manticore, provided you then pledge to help us fight an even fiercer and filthier beast.
Of course, my lady. Yet what manner of horror is it? A viper? A griffin?
Were it only. 'Tis a beast of 1,000 heads, covered in black armor, its fire consuming whole villages.
Noble lady. I know bestiaries only in parts, yet I've seen some of the world, and never have I heard of such a terror.
You need but look about you, and spot Nilfgaard's legions.
Devastating. But you must forgive me, your grace. This struggle between realms is not one to which I can lay a hand.
A manticore. How great is its appetite? How many men does it fell? In a moon, let us say.
It changes.